ain't know nothing about the TVs.
So cool.
But you gotta remember back then we had TVs that was just like
about the same to the screen.
y'all got and we had our TVs. You gotta remember y'all got 50, 100 channels. We had like maybe 10. Was it maybe?
Because when you think about like
No, 4. So yeah, we had 5.
ABC, NBC, Fox.
And then we had 54.
54, yeah.
And 45. 13.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even have 45 back then.
It could get up to 10 if you had the right antenna.
Right. And did we have 45 back then?
45 came out.
Yeah, 45.
Back then, okay, it did come.
It depends
Okay.
on how far we go back. Because 45 started up when, oh my God, I was just watching something. They was talking about
mid-80s Captain.
Mid-80s, yep. It was
Got you.
mid-80s.
Okay. Yeah. Captain Chesapeake. Yeah. Got you. All right. That's cool. Yeah, because they don't.
Because they think technology, y'all think the technology is like, it's just, everything has a previous generation. Just like you have your iPhone, whatever number it's on now. There was an iPhone 1.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And before there was an iPhone 1, there was a regular phone that sat on the wall that you had to like.
Before that, the flip phone.
Yeah, and then they had no camera on it. Like all that stuff came along.
And then they reinvented the flip phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was all digital.
All the previous generation.
Yeah. They joke my phone all the time. So.
We never said anything.
Yeah, y'all joke my phone all the time. Y'all joke. Yeah, they joke my phone all the time. They joke.
You talking about the rotary, the ones that when I was like, I guess like 5, they switched over to the dial.
Yeah.
I took my 8 and 10-year-old to Office Depot, and then we got to the phone aisle, and I was like, "What's this?" And they were like, "I don't know." It was a house phone.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And they were like, "Well, I don't." They was like, "I don't know." He was like,
"The cordless house phone."
Yeah, he was like, I said, "Well, what do you do with it?" And he was like, "You do something with it." I was like, so then I ended up talking to him, and they were like, he was like, "It looked like a phone."
Yeah,
I was like, that's what we use, right?
Talk to your
the camera was a separate thing.
Oh man.
Yeah, it wasn't
the camera was
together.
separate.
Oh my goodness, this was brilliant.
You should have recorded
You
that.
should have recorded that intro right there.
Oh, I did.
We just had a
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
That's why I couldn't tell. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? We're here with, who are we here with? Matter of fact.
My name is Shamia, and I am here today doing a resume writing workshop, but I'm also on the board for the People's Association of Oliver, who is one of our board members at Social Event today, Miss Audrey.
Hi, my name is Danelle Pender. I'm the founder of Excellence in Ambition, and we're a nonprofit in Baltimore City focusing on youth entrepreneurship and workforce development, specifically for those aged 14 to 21. And we are a citywide program, but we are headquartered in Park Heights. And I know Miss Audrey because we are both the Guardians. We are Guardians of Baltimore, which is a photo documentary about women in Baltimore City who are doing great things in their respective communities. Yeah.
I'm trying to give more. So, do you work with youth?
I do. Yeah, that's been ever since I moved to Baltimore. So I'm not originally from Baltimore. I'm actually from Jersey. I moved to Baltimore in December of 2020. And I've been working with youth since I've been out here. So yeah, youth are my passion. Hence why I'm here today doing resume writing workshop. Yeah.
So how do you feel about working with youth? Like, how does it make you feel as a person?
Super empowered. I think sometimes, I'm still youngish, right? So I think sometimes a lot of what working with youth has been, it's about me passing lessons down that I didn't think were lessons at the time, right? So like doing resume writing, or like one of the things that I've learned and been reflecting on really recently is how some of these skills that I have, I was building since I was a young girl, right? I was in the community. Some of us grew up in church, right? Like we've been doing volunteer days and things like that. And these are building the skills, but we don't necessarily have the words to say them on a resume. So we go into these jobs like, well, I don't know how to do anything. Like, no, you've been in the community doing things for years. It's a part of your grooming. It's a part of how you grew up. So I think a lot of what working with you for me is really giving them that insight of like, this is what you're adding value to yourself. These are the skills you're building. These are the things that are making you marketable, which I'm sure you'll talk about here a little bit. Marketable, stand out, be different, and it's a joy to pass that on to someone because I didn't know that at the time. So I feel like, you know, it's really inspiring and hopefully helpful to show youth the things that you're doing right now, and even you too, right? Like the things that you're doing right now are propelling you forward. You might think, oh, I'm just playing with computers, I'm playing with technology. My age was the age of MySpace, right? We didn't realize we were coding back then by changing all of our filter profiles, right? So like, you know, things like that is where giving back to the youth is important to me, because you need a different set of eyes for the things that you're doing that are really helping you as you kind of get older. So that's what it is, the biggest motivator for me working with you. Yeah.
I think it's the freshness. I don't know if you know, I've been doing this, I'm not gonna say it since, I don't know. It's been 30 years. This year makes 30 years that I've worked with youth. And that makes me feel, one, old, but two, makes me really realize how creative and energetic youth are. Because I was the 14-year-old starting out doing the jobs, working with other youth in the community, and now at age 44, I can say, oh wow, that's amazing. Like you said, the things that you do when you think you're just doing something to be doing it, that is your resume. But also when I think about culture, our culture is based on what the youth say is cool. And so every 4 years, culture shifts because the youth say, this is now cool.
Absolutely.
This is now the thing we're going to be doing. And everything else tends to fall in line, even when it comes to marketing and branding and whatever, however we want to look at it. The fact is that it's the young people, the creativity and the energy of young people that spurs the culture.
Absolutely.
And so it makes me proud to work with youth and be the adult in the room, or the old lady in the room, the auntie in the room, to give them the encouragement to be their creative selves.
Yeah. I appreciate you for sharing out that. Y'all just dropped the ball. Y'all definitely dropped the ball.
Okay.
So what are the 3 things that y'all feel like most youth need in the
Ooh.
3 things that most youth need in their lives.
3 things. I definitely think support. That's the first thing that came to my mind is support. I mean, I think let me expand on support. I think support comes in many forms. I think some of our educators in our school system can actually use some support. Some of our extracurricular activities and systems are support. Some of our family members, our friends, you know, some of their family members can be support. But support comes to mind for me first. I think the second thing I would say that youth really need is coming to that point of creativity, just freedom to be yourselves, freedom to make mistakes. I feel like that's something that society doesn't always embrace as much, especially when we're thinking specifically about Black youth, right? Like the freedom to make mistakes and be in the street and have fun and, you know, be just naturally expressive. So I would definitely say support. I would definitely say freedom. And you might have to come back to me on the third one. I'm not feeling confident yet about the third one, but I'll push it over to you.
I think faith is important.
Okay.
And that, now I'm not speaking religiously. I'm talking about faith in yourself to do the thing that is placed in you to do, whatever your gifts and talents are, and knowing that you can do it. And I think you have to have, second, encouragement from adults or those who are older that can push you into the things that you have faith that you can do. And then thirdly, you said support. I'm going to say family, and because family, like you just said, is not just one type of thing.
Absolutely.
Especially when you think about, we build family out of our friends sometimes. Your best friend can become like your brother.
Absolutely.
Right? And you know that, like I just said, auntie, you're the lady down the street that's always making sure that everybody's okay. That's like an auntie, right?
Yeah.
And so having people that are going to just support you in whatever you want to do. If you do want to start a business, you need your first customers. Your first customers is probably going to be the people that are right there.
Yeah,
Right
network,
there.
absolutely.
And so those are the 3 things that I think you have to have.
Okay, you helped me spark mine. Community is my third one,
Yes.
right? So when I say support, I think of more direct support, right? So those people you go cry to, those people you have fun with. But when I think of community, I think of a village. Those people who are championing you, putting you on platforms. times, right? Like, I think of that when I think of community. That mentorship, that guidance is one-on-one when I need support, but community is really the village, the tribe, the actual neighborhood that's rallying behind you to propel you forward. So that's my third thing.
Well, I just want to say, when it comes down to the support thing, I started doing hair maybe when I was in 6th grade. I started learning how, well, I always watched my mother because my mother knew how to do hair.
Okay.
So once I watched her, it just grew on me. Like, I think I should do this because I see my mother doing it. I'm like, I should do it.
Yeah.
And my mother always did like to push me, or my grandmother, she like, do my hair. I need my hair done.
That's nice.
I do it, and they always build me up to do different things. Like I'm not gonna say I just want to step into my mother's shoes, but I always want to be myself anytime.
Yeah.
Yep. So them around me that's helping me or like pushing me. Like even when I come here, they push me to be greater or do something to help them because they're helping me. They help me be a better person. So it's always like a give and take.
It's a give and take.
Yeah.
Shout out to your community and your mom and your grandma. That's what it should be. Like, I think every young person deserves the right to have that. It doesn't necessarily have to be just mom or grandma. We know everyone got different family situations, right? So whether that's the school teacher, whether that's Miss Audrey, whether that's us, right? Like, everyone needs somebody to be like, you know what, I see you doing that, maybe I want to do that, and it just encourage you along the way to your point of what you think they need. So shout out to your mom and your grandma.
And him too. He definitely helps me too. Like that's how I'm here today.
Nice. That's what's up. You get credit. You get credit. You credit.
We don't have to take credit. We just go let them.
You get credit.
No.
They'll say it in 10 years. They'll be like, you know what?
I know her since I've been with her since pre-K.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's another one of my support systems.
Yeah.
He always been there.
That's what's up. I love that.
He always pushed me.
You need it.
Yeah.
All right, so I got something for you, for them. So if you all had something to share and you had young people that you were trying to impact, you and you, like what would your word be based on your experiences you've already had in life? What's the one thing that you could tell them that could be a takeaway? And this is for all four of y'all.
Okay.
One thing to tell the young people to take away. Y'all got anything? Because I'm
I
still.
thought you were ready. I was like,
The way that I would kind of frame it is, what would I tell my younger self? If I could go back in the past and talk to my 18-year-old self, one, I say invest in Apple.
baby.
One, I say NVIDIA's gonna come along. It's gonna be this AI. It's gonna be, and I'm gonna, but I can't, so I'm not gonna say it. But if I could go back at age 18, before having my daughter, I would say something to the effect of, it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be confident. When you walk in a room, don't put your head down, because you have something to offer, regardless of the room, regardless of who's in the room. You belong in that space, and don't minimize yourself because of whatever. Yeah, your father is an addict. Yeah, you come from poverty. Yeah, whatever. But that's not really what you come from. You come from greatness. Greatness is in you, in your DNA. And when you walk with your head held high. And I would say that to her, because it took her till she was 36 to figure it out.
Absolutely.
That's a good one. Why are you looking at me? I'm not sure. Somebody else go. Still trying to figure out the word.
Honestly, I'm still young, so like I'm still like learning about myself. It's still things that I don't try to like regret anything in my life for real. I just, if I do make a mistake, I try to learn from my mistakes. So I wouldn't really be able to tell myself something, but what I tell myself now is like an affirmation, just to do better, be you. Know that you're beautiful, like know that, cause where I come from, like it'd be a lot. I feel like everybody went through that already.
Absolutely.
So, like, but that don't mean that's gonna stop you from doing anything that you really do in life. So, yeah.
I think for me, did you want to go? Okay. I think for me, my message would be to live in your truth and find people who connect to that truth. I think about young me, who was, which is natural, right? Trying so hard to fit in and impress other people and be somebody I'm not, and feeling like I'm not worthy enough, and and so